Now in this video we are going to talk about this RSA algorithm, and this RSA algorithm is asymmetric cipher. That means we will use one key for encryption and another key for decryption. At encryption the key is called a public key, and the decryption it is called private key. And public key pair is used for encryption and private key pair is used for decryption. So we need two values to generate the public key, and in the same way we need two values to generate the private key. And this public key can be known to anyone, and this private key should only be known to the person who is decrypting our ciphertext. And this algorithm strength lies in the selecting the prime numbers. So generally we need to select the large prime numbers, and we will see why we need to select the large prime numbers. And if you choose small prime numbers, it will be easy to brute force or cracking. So the algorithm is here as this follows. We need to first select two prime numbers and say p and q, and we need to find n value p into q, so that is multiplication of those two prime numbers. Next we need to find the Euler-Torshen function, that is pi of n. Pi of n is defined by p minus 1 into q minus 1. Actually this Euler-Torshen function tells that if you want to find the Euler-Torshen function of a number, you need to select only the numbers that are not divisible by that number. For a prime number, Euler-Torshen function is defined by p minus 1. We want to find for this n, that's why Euler-Torshen function is p minus 1 into q minus 1. We have to assume e, and we need to assume another value such that GCD of this assumed value and pi of n should be 1. That means greatest common divisor should be 1. That means there must be no other number that divides this e and pi of n, and which concludes that e and pi of n should be prime to each other. So that's what it is. We should assume another prime number such that this prime number and this pi of n should be the prime to each other, and the public key is e comma n. This pair is called public key. E, we have assumed the prime number that is in coprime with pi of n, and the public key is e comma n, and we need to calculate the private key. How we get the private key means this expression gives us the private key. We need to select d such that d into e modulus pi of n is equals to 1. So we have got already the value of e and the pi of n. Now we want to find the multiple of e such that if you divide with pi of n, you should get remainder 1. Alright, then after getting the d value, the private key is d comma n. So we have got the public key and the private key. Public key is e comma n and private key is d comma n. Now what we want to do is we want to find the ciphertext from the given plaintext. How do you find this? Plaintext power e modulus n, and we get the ciphertext. To decrypt that we need the d value, which is the private key. D and n are private key pair, and ciphertext power d into mod n, which gives us the plaintext. So if this seems confusing, let's see an example. So I'm going to show you in the OneNote. Okay, my handwriting will be bad because I'm using mouse. So let's take, okay, p is equals to 5 and q is equals to 7. So these two are prime numbers. I have taken p and q. Now what we want to do is we want to find the n value. How you get the n value? N is equals to p into q. 5 into 7, which is 35. Now what we are going to do is we want to find the pi of n, which is Euler-Torshen function. Let's say pi of n is equal to p minus 1 into q minus 1. That means 4 into 6, 24. So I'm taking the normal less numbered primes because I just want to keep the calculation simple. And we have to assume e such that GCD of e comma pi of n is 1, or else e and pi of n should be prime to each other. Let's say e is equals to, what we have got, pi of n is 24. So let's say e is equals to 5. Okay, let's call e is equals to 5. Since e and 24 are prime to each other, and the greatest common divisor for these numbers will be 1. because there are no common divisors except one. So we have got our public key paid, which is e comma n. E, which is 5 comma 35. Now we need to calculate the d value, and okay, we have already seen d in d into e, which is 5 mod pi of n. Pi of n value is 24, right? 24 is equals to 1. So after calculating this, we get the d value. To do that, I am going to use a online tool. Okay. So we need to find the inverse modular to get the value of d. So I am going to use this website. The integer we want to place here is 5 and the modulus value is 24, because it's 5 modulus 24. Let's click on calculate. So we get 5. So if you multiply 5 and 5, we get 24. If we divide with 25, we get, the answer is 5. If you multiply 5 and 5, you get 25. If you divide it with 24, you get remainder 1, that is modulus 1. So our d value is 5, which satisfies this equation perfectly, because 5 into 5 25, modulus 24 gives rise to 1. So we have got the private key, so which is d comma n. So 5 comma what is n value, 35. So you can see we got the same e value and the d value, but in rare cases we get like this. So in order to calculate the ciphertext, I mentioned it's CT. CT stands for ciphertext. So first I want to, let's take a number set to 24. Okay, let's take a small number for easy calculations. Let's take 7. This is the plain text I want to encrypt. So in real world, you need to send a message, right? You can encode it into the hex. You can decode that ASCII string into that hex format, and then you can convert that hex into integer. So we will see in the in another example. I will take that. So for now let's assume that my plain text is 7. So how to convert the plain text into ciphertext? Plain text power e modulus n, and 7 power e, which is 5 modulus n, which is 35. So I'm going to open this calculator. So we need to find the 7 power 5. Let's say 7 into, now hit enter, you get 7 square. Again, if you hit enter, the previous operation will be performed. If you again hit enter, you will get 7 cube, 7 power 4, 7 power 5. So this is 7 power 5, 16,807. Let's copy this and paste it in notepad. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to find the modulus 35. So let's click on mod and type 35, gives rise to 7. So ciphertext is 7. We need to get the plain text. So you can send this 7 value as a ciphertext to the receiver, and the how to get the plain text from ciphertext is ciphertext power d mod into modulus n. So I'm sorry, I should not put the into this. I'm sorry for this. Okay, ciphertext power d mod n. Okay, what is ciphertext? 7, and d is also 5, and mod n, which is 35. So in this case, the both operations are same, and we get the 7 as a plain text. So this is how you make the RSA algorithm, you can encrypt the plain text using RSA algorithm. So let's talk about the weakness of RSA algorithm. So public key e comma n is known to everyone. So if I am attacker, I will store this in some notepad or some other text file. So we have got the e and we have got the n. So how do you decrypt the ciphertext? We have already n from this public key pair, right? All you want to do is you want to find the d value. How to find this d value? Means you need to find the multiple of e such that mod pi of n is equals to 1. So we got the n value is equal to p into q, right? Then if you factorize this n value into 2 primes, then obviously you get pi of n, right? So if I take the small prime numbers, let's see the prime numbers we have taken. 5, we have got the 35. So if you factorize this 35 value into 2 primes, and you can assume that those primes are used in the encryption process. If you assume that like that, you can easily get the all the factors of 35, right? And in that factors of 35, one of these pair is 5 into 7, and these are prime numbers. So I can easily factorize this n value to get the factors like 5 and 7, and these two are prime numbers. I can check the prime numbers and can find this pi of n Euler Totion function, because we got the p and q. We have successfully factorized the n value, and we can calculate this Euler Totion function pi of n using p minus 1 into q minus 1. So within this one n value, we got the pq and also Euler Totion function. All you need to do is you need to calculate this private key, because e also we have got the from public key, right? So this is because we got all these values because of this small n value. To get the larger n value, it takes so much time to find the factors, and particularly we need to find the factors of prime numbers only. That's why it is best to choose the larger prime numbers, because the larger prime numbers on multiplying gives the larger number. That's why even though if attacker sees the public key, of course anyone can access this public key, and attacker can factorize this n value. So in order to make the process the tough one, you need to take the large prime numbers. So the weakness lies in these prime numbers. You need to, if you choose the weak prime numbers, then your decryption process will be very easy for attacker. That's why it's always the best practice to choose the larger prime numbers.